Hi, today is September 3rd, 2013. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk just briefly about cravings and processed foods. And I am still considered a new, mostly raw vegan. I have been doing this for going on 2 years, so that's still relatively new. I don't have years and years of experience under my belt, but I can talk a little bit about avoiding cravings and avoiding processed foods. And there are two things that I think have helped me. First of all, I always have enough fruits and vegetables in my home. I do not bring things into my home that are not a part of my dietary lifestyle. I completely understand that everyone may not be in a position to do that. Maybe you have other people in your home who are bringing in other things, or you feel like you have to buy other things for people who live in your home. But I can only tell you what has helped me. Having all of the fruits and vegetables that I need in my home to last at least 7 or 8 days. And then I also keep frozen organic fruit and frozen organic vegetables in the freezer. Just a few packages of each, just in case for some reason on the day when I was meant to be at the grocery store, something came up, or maybe I didn't feel well and I couldn't make it, and I do have some frozen things as a backup. Another thing that I believe that has helped me is because I do work a full-time job and I have to be at work 5 days a week, 8 to 5 every day, like a lot of other people. I always bring enough food to work with me, and I have been diligent about that, and so far that has worked for me. That helps me to avoid the processed foods, because let's face it, most of us in our workplaces, if we don't have food with us, we can either go to expensive restaurants that, maybe we can't afford, or restaurants that actually serve processed food, or the vending machines at our jobs. Vending machines that have nothing but junk food in them and soda and things like that. I have been successful at avoiding being at work, being hungry, and having to eat something that is not a part of my journey. I've been able to avoid that because I always take enough food to work with me, and I even take a little bit extra. So that's the advice that I would give to people who are somewhat new. Now, if you've been on the journey a long time, you already know this, and you have your habits down to a T, and you know how to avoid cravings and the processed foods. Now, I want to say this. As far as cravings, I understand that cravings is something that some people struggle with more than others. Like some people have food addictions that might take some time to overcome. Another thing that I do is I have some things that I will plan ahead for that to me are yummy foods that I don't have in my home, that I know that I wouldn't have on a regular basis, but that are okay to treat myself to once in a while. For instance, I have a vegan pastry shop in my city. Excellent vegan pastry shop. They have some raw pastries and they have some cooked pastries, but it's all vegan, and they use as much organic products as they can. Fortunately, it's not really close to where I live, and also it's pretty expensive. But what I do is every once in a while, I will go to that vegan pastry shop and I'll get a treat for myself. And I know ahead of time. Like if I wanted to go this weekend, I would plan ahead of time for that. I would know in my head, I'm going to go to the pastry shop and I'm going to get one treat. And I do that occasionally. It's something that's very rare. But for some reason, knowing that I can do it and knowing that it's there, let's say for instance, I don't really get a sweet tooth, but if I just want something I just call it yummy. I know that the pastry shop is there, and I know that I can go over there maybe once a month and get a treat. So maybe that's something to consider. If you're struggling with cravings, maybe plan that there are one or two things that's going to be an indulgence for you, and you are allowed to have those things if you plan ahead, if you know several days in advance that you're going to treat yourself to that. Not just that you're going to end up there and, one day, and you might end up there the next day. Plan ahead to have a little bit of an indulgence once in a while. Especially if you love to bake and cook things at home. I'm not a baker, and I'm a pretty decent cook, but it's not something that I have to have in my life. But if you know that you love to prepare treats, plan ahead that once a month you're going to have a special treat that you make. Of course, it has to be vegan. We're not even going to go there with that. Of course, it has to be vegan, but maybe it has a little bit more oil or fat in it than you normally eat on a day-to-day basis. But that's your treat, and you've planned ahead for it. So that took care of whatever cravings you had for that yummy thing. So I hope that helps someone. I know I watch a lot of people's videos, and I know people struggle. I know people struggle with the cravings and the processed foods. Make sure you have enough fruits and vegetables in your home at all times. And if you're working a regular job where you can take your food to work with you, take your food to work with you every single day, and take enough to have extra just in case something comes up and you've got errands to run after work. Take your food with you. Always be prepared. So I hope that helps someone. Take care, and I hope you all are doing great. Thanks, and I'll be back soon with another video.